Imagine Dragons sounds more like a rock band than they've ever sounded in recordings. What's up, friends? Today we're talking about Mercury Act 2 by Imagine Dragons. We'll be looking at it from the perspective of a producer, singer, songwriter, and Vegas native. Imagine Dragons is a Las Vegas band, and so they have a really big impact on our community here. I've seen them in concert twice, and they're phenomenal live. Just stellar group of musicians. One of the better live shows I've probably ever been to. I think they get underrated because not enough of people who are critics of them have seen them live. It's just a completely different experience. I've met like 3 of Dan Reynolds' brothers and his parents as well. Really great family, massive family. There's like 10 kids or something like that. It's crazy. I've liked the music for a long time. I think they've evolved in a really interesting way, and they've consistently put out hits. So excited to see what Mercury Act 2 has to offer. Without further ado, let's check out the first track, Bones, which I've heard before. It's a great track.
My patience is waning. Is this entertaining? My patience is waning.
I really like the vocal effect that they use during the pre-chorus. Distortion, also pitch transformation.
Feeling like a butter hurtling. Seeing all the vultures circling. Burning in the flames, I'm working.
The electric guitar during the second verse really adds like a new, fresh sound to the song. You know, like, yeah, you have the drums continuing from the chorus, but that electric guitar really puts it to a new level. Nice high-end work. I feel like these Rick Rubin produced tracks with Imagine Dragons have some of the most interesting outros that they've done, and that song is no exception. I like that they have this completely new melody that takes up the outro section of the song. Also, that bass tone is so sexy. It's so gritty, and it fluctuates in this really nice way. I love the portion when it's just his vocal and the bass really brings out the unique qualities that bass has been adding the whole time. Also, each chorus is adding something new, really great development. Awesome single, Symphony.
I'm the strings and you're the timpani. You're my constant tambourine.
I love that right after he mentions the tambourine, you can hear the tambourine on the left. It's a great use of kind of like mentioning each instrument, and then the instrument comes in some way.
Laughing when you wrecked it, smiling when you kept it together. You weathered the storm at the end.
Wayne's guitar work on this song is just phenomenal. He's such a great asset to this group. I really like the more rhythmic, chunky stuff he does, and then has a great tone with that high end. Yeah, I think one of the most underutilized parts of Imagine Dragons is Wayne. He's just a phenomenal guitarist, and I don't think they give him enough solos. I mean, I know it's a pop group, but he's just such a great rock guitar soloist that it's a shame not to see him kind of burst out in every single song. Yeah, I think the blend of instrumentation on that song is so brilliant. They find spaces for each instrument that's named, and the way the strings and the guitars blend on that chorus is so pretty. I mean, they found a great guitar tone, found a great string tone, and they've just kind of blended them so nicely. Probably one of my favorite Imagine Dragons songs in general. It's really good. Great piece of music. Sharks is next, another single they released.
You're just the same as them, same as them. So let it go, let it go.
The way that they've been doing their pre-choruses on Mercury Act 2 is really interesting, adding like a different vocal effect on each pre-chorus for each song, and then on the choruses they generally do a gang vocal. It's cool. It's a nice formula that works for each song. The way they use those record scratches fused with his kind of chopped vocal on the post-chorus part is great. It's really reminiscent of kind of early hip-hop. Great tool. Yeah, great song. They found great tones for those guitars. like a really like fierce tone and then almost like a creepy tone in the high end. Great fusion of elements. Yeah, so far every song's been really well produced in interesting ways that are innovative, and keeping Imagine Dragons is one of the toppers. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. Helps a lot. I Don't Like Myself is next up. I really like the synth on this song, how it kind of just like comes out of pitch throughout. It's interesting.
This is headed for disaster, no happily ever after.
I like how in that bridge he's kind of taking a different perspective from the rest of the song, and so with that change in perspective, you take away the keyboard. Kind of symbolic, you know, things aren't going out of pitch for him there.
I wanna love myself just like everyone else.
The old school record scratches at the end of that song are really fun. Yeah, really intense subject matter. Can relate. I've written 2 songs about this, one with Jack Jack, I Do This to Me, and one solo, Gray Blue Eyes, which I just released a music video for that on Thursday, so check it out. Okay, next up is Blur.
The weekend, I'm always hoping for a reset.
I find it interesting that the verses and pre-chorus of this song sound so kind of like alternative punk, pop punk, kind of the modern versions of pop punk that we're seeing. And then when they get to the chorus, it just sounds essentially exactly like what we expect from Imagine Dragons. Fits back into their character as a group. So glad that they gave Wayne just like that entire last section to just go crazy on the electric guitar. It sounds sick. It works really well. Next song is Higher Ground. Very Stevie Wonder of them.
Take it all in stride. This life is such a ride. I live until I die.
I think one thing Imagine Dragons does so well is they have this diversity of intensity throughout a song. They really like diversify their energy. And you hear that especially on this song, you know? Those verses are very chill, and then when it gets to the chorus, it's super high energy, just really going at it.
Tell me what to do when I'm on it. I am the witness, the genesis, the reason.
I really like the way they EQ isolate his vocals during that bridge to create a new character for the vocal there. And I really like how his vocal sounds with it in that kind of isolated EQ context. I would say that on Mercury Act 1 and Act 2, Imagine Dragons sounds more like a rock band than they've ever sounded in recordings. They've always sounded like a rock band live. They are just like 100% a rock group, but I feel like it didn't always translate to character that was presented through recordings. Crushed is next up. This guitar lick sounds so similar to the one used in Ice is Getting Thinner by Death Cab for Cutie. I wonder if that was a conscious decision or not. I mean, it's sped up and it's different, but it's just reminds me of it. I love the strain in his falsetto in these choruses. It sounds so desperate. I feel like he does desperation in his vocals so well. Wow, that song is great. I was surprised to hear it. It's like I was saying earlier, they're sounding more and more like a rock band than they ever have, and that song is a really great example of it. That sounds completely live. There weren't a lot of added effects outside of the instruments that we would expect in the band. It was very guitar-driven as far as the track goes. That riff was kind of like the primary driver of the song, and his vocals sound serene and great. Awesome track. This album's great. It's one of my favorite like Imagine Dragons so far. Take It Easy is next up.
Take it easy on me. I need some lullabies.
This almost feels like an old Lumineers song in terms of just like vocal production. I do like the ahs that go on throughout that chorus section, and I really like what's going on in the high end for the guitars. I don't know if that's a guitar. It's a string instrument, though. I feel like there was a missed opportunity on that track to really have the electric guitar just go loose and take it easy and just start soloing like crazy. There were some really great tones that were building into what felt like a guitar solo, and then it just went back to the chorus. So that disappointed me a little bit. Also, pretty strong religious disillusionment in this song. I feel like we've been hearing that a lot from Dan Reynolds recently, and it's especially prevalent in this song. It's interesting when religious disillusionment allows one to like abandon thoughts of an afterlife too. Fascinating. Anyway, Waves is next up.
Ask it to wait.
I love the sound that they're getting out of the snare on this song. It sounds just so beefy and intense. Really nice low end on it. No, it's very specific, but I like it. I do like the call and response between the screaming and the la la la's. This isn't like my favorite song, but I think the production is really clean and it sounds cool. Yeah, all right song. Pretty good. Not my favorite on the track, but it still like flows well. Feels like it could have fit on an album like Smoke and Mirrors. Let's look at I'm Happy.
What's wrong with me? Is there somebody else inside my head?
I love how that acoustic guitar really drives the first verse. Just pushes in a really nice way. I like the diversity of kind of speed that guitar's going through. Nice spacing.
They tell me to write a paragraph of everything I love about me.
This song is very focused on therapy. That bridge just sounds like a therapy session. The gritty string sounding synth at the end is interesting. My thing with this track is I really liked the electric guitars, and so when they deviated from the use of kind of acoustic and electric guitars on this track too much, it felt like it wasn't quite as kind of live sounding. I think this song could have benefited from that really live treatment. That being said, it's still great. I still think the production works really well on it, and it adds really interesting layers of energy. I think the vocal production was stellar. Throughout this album, I think you've had some of the best produced vocals come out of Dan Reynolds. This and Mercury Act 1, because they're kind of combined. Yeah, just stacked in very interesting ways, interesting harmonies. He's done a diversity of things with his vocals, very restrained, very aggressive. Ferris Wheel is next up.
I promise you
Really pretty song. I really liked the background vocal on the left side of the panning, and how the chorus, all that it added was just like another layer of guitar. It's cool. Just subtle things, you know?
White House and the diamond ring. Leave it all behind.
Real catchy, real pretty. I like the subtle addition of elements throughout the song, the harmonies in the second chorus, and then that atmospheric synth that started coming in at the end of the bridge. Had a nice little kind of like tinkle in the high end, like a ding-ling. That was really pretty as well. I also liked how the bridge started out with the guitar filling more into that low end to kind of drop energy through frequency placement. You know, you have lower frequencies, and so you feel a real energy shift, even though the instrumentation hasn't changed too dramatically. Yeah, overall, really pretty song, well produced. Nice little acoustic ballad. Next song is Peace of Mind.
Feels real bad. Try as I might, I can't.
Those horn synths feel so out of character with the rest of this album, but I do like that bass tone. I like how it's kind of like bouncing around a little more. It's interesting.
When you came into my life.
Those pianos during the bridge sounded so cool. They got a lot of character from that piano. A lot of kind of like the creaks. Just love that. Very organic sounding. Organic.
Try as I might, I can't get no peace of mind.
Peace of Mind's kind of a different track to me from the rest of the album. It's still interesting, and it does add some flair. I mean, this album has not been boring in my opinion at all. Maybe not the best fit, but it's cool still. Not my favorite synth, but it still works. Kind of reminds me of the Paul McCartney synth from Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time. Reminiscent to that. And I love that song, so hey, can't fault them too much. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It means the world to me. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Next song is Sirens.
Weary soldier, I get older, life gets colder. Sometimes
I think it's interesting how on this song, the vocals take more of a chill approach during the chorus, and they're a little more energetic and active during the verses. Very different for Imagine Dragons. I like how that instrumental section after the second chorus has a synth that sounds like a siren. Fitting. Really great song. Yeah, different approaches from them. I like that they didn't do a bridge. It was just a great instrumental section to kind of end it out. You know, you had that second chorus and then it's just it. Which is a different form from what you'd expect from Imagine Dragons. Yeah, and I would say on Mercury Acts 1 and 2, you see a lot of that. You see a lot of playing with form, which is great. I'm glad to see Imagine Dragons getting more experimental, getting more organic sounding. This is the most organic sounding of their records. You know, still mixing the electronic. You still hear those electronic drums, especially on that chorus of this song. But, you know, there are fairly organic elements, which is great. Next song is Tied, like to tie things together, tied.
you call me up just to say you think.
I'm so curious of how they recorded this piano or keyboard, whatever it is, because it has like a very plucky, stringy sound to it that is so uncharacteristic. I'm just so curious of how they achieved that. It sounds so cool. I really like it. Also, a lot of space.
Time will heal our hearts, but
Really smooth introduction of elements throughout that song. Great vocal production. I loved the vocoder when kind of everything drops away except for the vocal and the vocoder. And then also just how it comes in on that last chorus is great. The way the strings blend in with the different elements. I loved the vocal, that background vocal that was kind of shifting between left and right. I'm guessing it had like a ring shifter or something on it. Not 100% positive. Yeah, and then just right from the get-go, I loved how you had these really dense atmospheric vibes, and then that dropped away and you had just the vocal and what sounded like a piano that was very spacious, that wasn't filling up every single moment of the song. Younger is next.
take me back when I was younger.
I love the rhythm section during this chorus. It's so cool. It has such interesting spaces. Very clacky sound going on in the percussion section too. Excellent. I just love hearing Wayne get that guitar solo. People who probably already knew that song were like, oh, he's going to like this song because he likes Wayne's guitar solos, and that was a sick guitar solo. It was short. Could have been longer, but added energy. Really made that last chorus stand out. Maybe I kind of want to start singing along with that last chorus. And that's, I think, the power of a great instrumentalist, is that they can enhance a song, make a song feel like it's that much better, make you that much more urgent about the song, give you newfound energy. I Wish is next up. Click.
The
Subtle, like, electric guitars filling in atmosphere at the end of phrases in the chorus after that piano has kind of taken so much charge. It's brilliant. Great orchestral build at the end of that song. Felt very alive, intensified the energy to the song. Continual featuring Corey Henry. It's the second last.
I'm done with all the miracles except for you.
The gospel direction of this song is so interesting because he's kind of saying, oh, I don't care for miracles and religion except for you are the miracle I ascribe to, which is interesting. To have like a religious disillusionment paired with these very religious soul elements like organs. Fascinating.
Continual truth. Do pray to.
I mean, the background vocals on this are so fantastic. They're so tight. Those harmonies are just right on. The rhythms are so intense. It's great.
I promise you I'll come through. Promise you I'll be.
I thought Corey Henry's vocals on this were brilliant, and I would have loved to hear more of him. I thought they were going in such a great direction every time he came in. Maybe some just back and forth. I thought his vocals really fit with the vibe they were going for on this track, that more soulful vibe. Last song, They Don't Know You Like I Do.
Yourself. See, I wish I could take it back, change a few.
Oh, when those vocoders come in and the whole song starts building. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Great venture into kind of a Baroque pop feel for the ending. Seemed to really fit. Felt right for the vibe of the end album as a whole. Yeah, I really enjoyed this listen of the album. This is good. I think this is great. One of my favorite Imagine Dragons pieces. I hope they keep doing stuff like this. I love those moments when they go more into their organic selves, when it sounds more like the live Imagine Dragons sound, which I enjoy immensely. Hope you enjoyed this take on everything. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Really appreciate it. It means so much to me. Please help a brother out. Vegas musician trying to rise to the top. I have a brand new music video out, Gray Blue Eyes. I release a wealth of music and music videos. And if you like Imagine Dragons, I think you'll enjoy what I have to offer too. I do interesting blends of organic and electronic and delve into similar topics, you know. Thanks so much. And I'll catch you on the flip.
I hate my reflection, it's always backwards.